Ladies and gentlemen, this next podcast will be scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit, hailing from Brooklyn, New York, Nicholas Jason Lopez, and on the other side of the ring, his website, ProWrestlingOpinion.com, your home for pro wrestling news, reviews, and so much more. Thank you. Hello, welcome to episode number 7 of Intermission, where I, Nicholas Jason Lopez, the one and only, well, I'm sure there's others of me, but basically I'm going to be talking about pro wrestling news for the next 15 minutes with some helps and suggestions from Facebook and social media. Needless to say, it's been a pretty eventful week, obviously with the Royal Rumble looming, NXT TakeOver Phoenix. The possibilities are endless as far as what could happen. Just some notes, some little commentary as far as like Raw was concerned. I think Lacey Evans had a very eventful debut. They may be turning Alexa Bliss babyface, but then again, not too sure, because it's the Royal Rumble, so they tend to throw everybody into the same ring. Although, the idea that a quote-unquote catfight, for no apparent reason other than that the people just don't like each other, is a little bit strange for a hype. It's like they skipped the brawl that usually happens in the ring, and they just decided, well, what the hell, I'm gonna just fight on stage and go into the concession stand, or something of that matter. I didn't really quite get it, but I wasn't sure what they were going for. Bliss, like, towards the end of that segment, we were supposed to feel sorry for her, or, just because she was upstaged by a classy, sophisticated gal. I don't know. I didn't quite understand the logic of it, but I will say Evans came off pretty condescending, which is how you want to be as a heel. The opening of the show was very instrumental for, getting Finn Balor and the idea that he could win over. Paul Heyman was really good at driving that home, being a skeptic of sorts. I could tell they're really going all out, but again, and I stuck from this from early on once the match was announced, they're not going to have Finn Balor beat Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. It's not going to happen. He may kick out of an F5. He may kick out of 2 F5s. I don't think he's going to take 3. 3 is what actually undid The Undertaker to end that oh-so-glorious WrestleMania streak. But you don't really know where it's going to go. But I do think he's going to get a good showing out of it. Maybe they'll do Braun Strowman and Lesnar. Doesn't really feel like that's the way that they want to go. But anything is possible when you really think about it. On the SmackDown side of things, I mean, how crazy is it that Daniel Bryan is like the hottest heel right now, and him and AJ Styles are gonna just tear the house down. There's no limit to what those two could do in the ring together, and the fact that their characters is what's driving this feud just makes it all the more better. Obviously, Becky Lynch and Asuka, that was something on its own. But again, it's going to be a good show. Got a lot going on. Well, between all the names and all the broadcast people, and it's going to be like an 8-hour spectacle at this rate. I'm just expecting Royal Rumble to just go straight into WrestleMania. It's going to be 3 months long, and WrestleMania is going to be like half the year. And the pre-show is going to be like 2 weeks. It's gonna be a thing. Live streaming is the way to go. That's the route that we're heading in now. Just a browse through some wrestling news happening. Ringside Roster, Wrestling News and Rumors. One of my good friends from the Facebook people. They were posting about, I'll just read this. Impact Wrestling has lost 2 of their creative team members who are believed to be on their way to WWE. These names are definitely blows to Impact's creative team. Impact Wrestling Hall of Famer Abyss has exited the company, as well as creative team member Sanjay Dutt. This status is written really badly. Sorry guys, work on your grammar. But anyway, they're saying that they informed the roster via email that the 2 have left the company, Abyss and Sanjay Dutt. Abyss is notable for being the longest tenured wrestler of Impact Wrestling, and Sanjay, as we all know, has been in and out of Impact over the years, but I want to say it's a pretty big bro. Wow, that sounds like something entirely different. Abyss being gone, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Sanjay Dutt being gone, I mean, has no effect. But Abyss has been with that company ever since the new church was a thing. So I don't know where it's gonna go. If they're gonna take on like agent roles, or if they're actually gonna be like on-screen personalities. What do you really do with Abyss at this point in age? I can't see him getting a pop in NXT if they want to go that route. But and there's a lot of Captain Planet memes going around because of Daniel Bryan's promo, which is something in of itself. Again, this is just testament to just how much a really great heel character can accomplish for a TV show. Coming across some other memes posted into Cult of Kayfabe. It's like a Facebook Messenger kind of thing. Someone posts, "Really, who's your favorite wrestler?" And the girl comments back, "The bald one with the beers, Mr. Freeze, I think. I've been watching it since I was 4. Below that is a picture of Stone Cold Steve Austin, who is being talked about, just in a head-shaking gesture. That's really sad, but the thing is, there are really people out there that actually think that. A post in Real Wrestling Fans, take a pill, red pill, or blue pill. Well, I'm not quite sure. I feel like this is the Matrix on crack, but it supposes the idea is Sami Zayn becoming Universal Champion. I could get behind that. That should have been a thing a long time ago. I do think his constant injuries have cost him opportunities. They can't really book him for long-term things, as was the case with Daniel Bryan way back when. He's very injury-prone. Even though his character has really gotten a good facelift and a quote-unquote reality check, he's not just a dancing ska man. He actually has some depth and character to him. So when he comes back, I think he's going to get a really big push. I don't know if it has Universal Champion written on it, but it would be a good idea. As for Mustafa Ali becoming WWE Champion, that could happen, but it actually would be a really good thing for that to happen, because and going back from a long time ago when the Cruiserweight division first began, something that I used to complain about on the daily was when they first introduced it, subtly into Raw, and of course you get 205 and an NXT match here or there, but they would change the ring ropes to purple. The Spanish announce table became purple. The turnbuckles were purple. The referee turned purple. I just didn't get this whole color coordinated. I'm trying to find the word. Color coordinated segregation upon 205 to the rest of the main roster. Now, I always had the idea that they should just integrate them with the rest of the show, so you could get as many more matches as possible. You have a really big roster, true, but if you just mix everything together, wrestling fans, they like originality. They like things that they haven't seen before. or something that they love to see done over and over. Obviously, that's been the case with the New Day and the Usos, and so on and so forth. So it's good to see Mustafa Ali's really like the first one to really bridge that gap and have main roster success, but he's still being treated like a newcomer of sorts. Not like he hasn't been on the roster or familiar with rings, or hasn't like competed on Raw for like three almost 4 collective years. So it's a little baffling when they try to do that. But if they're gonna push somebody as the new guy, he would be a good person to do it. Professional Wrestling Almanacs posting, what are your thoughts on the Worlds Collide tournament? Who do you think will win? From NXT, we're getting Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Dominic Dijakovic. I don't know why they don't just call him Dijak. I mean, that worked for ROH. Keith Lee and Shane Thorne. Well, out of NXT, I would give it to Velveteen Dream. NXT UK, you get Mark Andrews, Tyler Bate, Travis Banks, Jordan Devlin, Zach Gibson, Tyler Bate out of there. And from 205, Cedric, Tony Nese, Drew Gulak. I don't know why I just said Galawak. I'm thinking of Drew McIntyre and his former name, but that's going really bad now. TJP and Humberto Carrillo. That's a really fun Hispanic name to say. You should try it sometime. Out of from 205, I'd probably give it to Cedric, but that's just me. I mean, I guess it's good when Worlds collide. Not so much for George Costanza, but it's good for NXT and all, and, you know, not main roster things. Worlds are colliding! It's just scrolling, keep scrolling. What? Alright, someone's doing a play-by-play on NXT. Velveteen Dream goes one-on-one with Bobby Fish. Cole in the corner for Fish. This is for the most recent episode of NXT, aka tonight. Read the recap. It was actually pretty on point. They did some things to push TakeOver Phoenix. It was a really good sit-down segment with the woman, from what I heard, and the main event, while not bad, didn't really push anything, but at the same time, you can't really say it was bad, because nothing from NXT is ever bad. And the tag team match that took place was supposedly 4 to 5 minutes of absolute amazingness, so you heard it here. They said go out of your way to check it. I haven't done so myself, but I've read tons and tons of reviews, so ProWrestling.net's usually on point with those things, so as long as they're recommending it, you should definitely do it. Want to give some shout-outs to the RSN Wrestling Podcasts, which I make the N in RSN. We just recently put up the year-end award show from 2018. Feel free to check that out. It's going to be on the PWO website. We also have a YouTube page, RSN Wrestling Podcast. So go ahead and check that out. Also on the site, we did some interviews with Dynamo Pro Wrestling, Luke Roberts and Mike Outlaw. They got a show coming up on the 26th. They just had one pass on the 19th. Outlaw talked about his match with Savannah Stone, upcoming at the time, but still a really good interview to check out if you're into that kind of thing. And my Facebook is just stalling. Don't you love social medias? I don't. Not in situations like this. But yeah, tell me what's happening in the pro wrestling world. Seeing the second post about Abyss signing with WWE. The idea that they're pitching him as Taker's opponent at WrestleMania is a little bit laughable, but I mean, take the two characters and let the fantasies run wild. I guess I could see what you're going for. Name a wrestling move you never see anyone do anymore. I'll start spinning heel kick. I don't see anybody do the gore anymore. I miss that. I miss random gores on people. And clotheslines. I like a good old-fashioned clothesline. Sometimes when I'm walking down the block, walking down the street, and I see a person just running, like, towards me in my direction, I have to hold every fiber of my being not to clothesline the hell out of them. And I think that will conclude episode 7, Intermission. Thank you, thank you.